Should you stop taking statins? Well, this is a conversation I think that could potentially save your life. So let's dive right in. Did you know that every 40 seconds that someone in the United States has a heart attack, half of them had normal cholesterol, and many of them felt perfectly fine the day before? So, really, what's going on here? And how do you even know if you're at risk? Well, that's the real question that a lot of patients ask me. Can I stop taking my statin? So, on the surface, this may seem like a very simple yes or no question, but heart attacks don't work that way. And this is a very important point to understand. So, why is there no simple yes or no answer? So, let's talk about statins for a little bit. First of all, they are very powerful drugs, right? They lower your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. They absolutely reduce inflammation, and they stabilize the plaque that is already there in your arteries, so it's less likely to rupture. Now, for some people, that can mean cutting your risk of heart attack or stroke as much as 50%. But lifestyle changes, what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress can also dramatically reduce your risk. The difference is that statins work quickly when lifestyle changes really take time to heal the root cause, right? So think about it as a quick fix, stabilize something that's very serious with the medication, and lifestyle habits take a lot longer to see that actual improvement as well. Now, the danger comes when we act like we must choose one or the other. And so if I only tell you, for example, to take a statin and ignore lifestyle, I think I failed you. If we tell you to change your lifestyle and ignore medication, oh, I failed you again, right? Because either way is incomplete, and either way can cost you years of healthy life. So there is something you need to know though that really surprises most people. Half of all heart attacks happen when people have quote unquote normal cholesterol levels. Now, how is that possible? Because cholesterol is just part of the story, right? Arteries don't just suddenly clog overnight. It's more like rust that's silently building up inside your pipes. You may feel perfectly fine until the day a piece of that plaque breaks loose and just shoots downstream and blocks the flow to your heart. Now, this is why we need to take a really important closer look at your entire risk profile, not just your cholesterol numbers, before making a decision about stopping or continuing your statin. So let's think about your heart like a car with multiple warning lights on the dashboard. Would you ignore the check engine light just because your gas tank was full? I think not. You need to watch for all the gauges because each one tells a part of the story. So here, let's talk about the different key gauges that determine your heart risk. Number one is the LDL cholesterol, right? That bad cholesterol. Too much LDL acts like sludge in your arteries. This is one of the main target of statins. Two is your HDL cholesterol, or the good cholesterol. Now, HDL works like a cleanup crew, kind of hauling away that extra cholesterol. But here's something that people don't know. More is not always better, because extremely high HDL levels, greater than 100, can actually become harmful because the particles may turn dysfunctional and contribute to inflammation. Now, this is rare and it's usually genetic. And there's also more conversation around the HDL may not be as helpful as we once originally thought. More on that later in another discussion, another video, but it is something to consider, um, which is sad because we need as many good guys on our team as possible. um, Three, what's the other gauges? Number three is blood pressure, right? So high blood pressure is like running water through your pipes at double pressure. Over time, it weakens the walls and makes it easier for plaque to form and rupture. Number four is your blood sugar or your A1C. High blood sugar damages blood vessels, the walls of the blood vessels, and makes them sticky, right, which attracts more plaque. Number five is your weight and waist size. Your extra abdominal fat, or also known as visceral fat, pumps out inflammatory chemicals that increase your risk. Number six is family history, right? So if your parents or siblings developed heart disease early, you've inherited a higher baseline risk, even if you feel fine. Number seven is lifestyle factors: smoking, inactivity, a heavily ultra-processed diet, chronic stress, and poor sleep all accelerate your plaque buildup. And number eight is your calcium or excuse me, your coronary artery calcium score, or your CAC score. Now, this is a special, very quick CT scan or CAT scan that can literally show you how much hardened plaque is already sitting in your arteries. It's kind of like getting a peek under the hood. Now, it doesn't talk to you about your soft plaque, but it does speak to the hardened calcified plaque that's already there. It'll help us understand if you actually have evidence of heart disease in your past. And we'll get to that in a second. But I also want to speak to you about something else. Doctors use something called a 10-year ASCVD risk. That's atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease risk, to estimate the change you'll have, or estimate the chance you'll have a heart attack or a stroke in the next decade. Now, it's all based on the gauges above, right? Your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your age, your family history or gender, your smoking status, and a few other things. So what does that mean exactly? So a low 10-year risk is less than 5%. A moderate risk is that 5 to 20%, and a high risk is more than 20%. Now, statins are often recommended for people in the moderate to high category because their baseline risk is already high enough the medication can tip the balance. But did you know your calculated risk isn't set in stone, right? It changes when you improve your lifestyle, or conversely, if your health worsens. Now, if you're in the moderate range and unsure about medication, that's where the CAC score can be quite a different discussion point. It can be actually a tiebreaker on how aggressive you need to be with medications. Now, always do lifestyle, but medication, of course, is on the table for discussion. So how do you understand your own risk, right? So let's talk about how you can start mapping your own risk before you even step into your doctor's office to have this discussion. There's going to be 4 steps here. One is gather your numbers, right? We want to talk about cholesterol panel, your blood pressure, your sugar, blood sugar, or A1C, your weight, your waist measurement. 2, you can use a calculator. You can plug your numbers into the ASCVD Risk Estimator Plus, and I'll tell you where to get that link here in a minute. Or you can use the Score 2 if you're in Europe to see your 10-year risk. Number 3 is stratify your results based on what I mentioned earlier, right? Less than 5% is low risk, 5 to 20% is your moderate risk, and 20% or greater is high risk. Now, number 4 is ask about a coronary artery calcium score if you're in that moderate to high range, because a CAC score 0, little or no plaque, there may be reasonable to delay statins if your lifestyle is solid, right? If your CAC score is 1 to 99, you have early plaque, so you consider both statins and aggressive lifestyle changes. Now, a CAC score greater than 100, that means you're in the top 75 percentile for your age and sex or gender. That's significant plaque, right? Statins plus lifestyle are really probably the safest combination in that setting. So really, why does this matter before you stop your statin? Well, remember, statins have become a long-term therapy because they reduce your risk quickly. Now, stopping them abruptly can cause your cholesterol rise and plaque to become more unstable. Now, that doesn't mean you're locked in forever. If you've transformed your lifestyle, right, you've improved your numbers, you have a low CAC score, you and your doctor may decide together to taper or to stop your statin safely. But making that decision blindly without knowing your full risk is like driving down the highway at night with your headlights off. Now, really, the bottom line is you're not being difficult for asking, do I really need this medication? You're being smart. But the right question isn't just, can I stop my statin? It's, what's my true risk and how can I lower it for the long run? The answer will almost always include both ropes, right? The immediate risk reduction of medication when needed and the long-term healing power of lifestyle change. So when you know your numbers, your CAC score, and your 10-year risk, you'll walk into your doctor's office ready for a real conversation, right? One that could literally save your life. So I hope this gave you some clarity. And if you'd like some more information on how you can do this and get a little bit more clarity on what all those steps mean and in a written profile or in a written format, just click the link below. It'll take you to my Substack. And there on the Substack, it'll take you right to this article. And if you scroll all the way down, you'll see an opportunity to join Substack and download the PDF, the Cardiovascular Risk and Decision Framework. And what this is, it'll allow you to, it's a worksheet basically where you calculate your true 10-year heart attack and stroke risk using the same tools your doctors use, and understand your CAC score, what it actually means, and whether you should ask for the test. Also, identify the biggest lifestyle opportunities to track your progress over time. You also get the exact questions to ask your doctor before stopping or adjusting medication, and a 30-day heart health goal setting framework, right, to get you started on the right track to a healthy heart. So that link is below, and I hope to see you there.
I'm Dr. Lori Marvis. Now, if you've ever taken a multivitamin, you've probably assumed it's giving you everything that you need. But the truth is, most women's multivitamins are filled with nutrients that you're already getting from your food, while skipping the ones your body really needs to thrive. And that's where the For Her Essential System comes in. I co-created the For Her Essential System with Complement, a science-backed supplement system that provides the essential nutrients women need for optimal health. It's designed to support hormonal balance, energy, bone health, and much more, with just the nutrients we struggle to get without the unnecessary fillers. What sets the For Her Essential System apart is that it is specifically formulated for women, with dosages based on the latest research, ensuring you get what you need, so you can thrive in everything you do, all day, every day. Now, to learn more and try it for yourself, visit the link in the description below and use the code for an exclusive discount. Take control of your health with the nutrients that matter most.